Here it goes. So let us get connected to the Excel. That is, let us take the orders. Here it goes. Now, one was the category. Somebody said that there was some issue with the renaming the group. So let me take the sales on the basis of the subcategory. Let me make it as a horizontal bar chart. Let's make it as an entire view. I can also sort it. Now I have to create a group. I can click on this drop down arrow. I will say create group. We created the subcategory, the stationery group. So envelopes, label, and paper. Suppose I will say group, and here you can rename it, right? You can say stationery, right? So this is how it can be renamed. You can also rename it later as well. Stationery. Say apply and okay, and here is your group. Right, so you can see you are getting a stationery over here. Okay. Clear?
Thanks.
Okay, now this was one, and another thing somebody asked was, I want to display the sales, profit, and discount on the basis of order date. So as we have to display multiple visuals on the same plot, so I will take the measure values on the basis of the order date. Let's make it as an entire view, and taking the measure names into the colors, and here it goes. I don't want the count of orders, and I can put the measure names into the label. So this is what is expected. So sales, discount, profit, and quantity all are displayed in a same plot area. You have done the same thing, but the only thing you have put it in a tabular format. I was looking for a graphical. Clear?
Yeah, noted.
Perfect. Right. Anything else? I have not missed any question. No. Okay. So let's proceed further with this. And the last topic which we did was the second assignment. Right. This was the last topic which we did. Right. And we need to proceed on today with adding of parameters. So let's see how can we create a dynamic visual using a parameter. So for which I would like to display the sales on the basis of subcategory. Let's make it as an entire view. I would like to sort it and put the label over here. Right. So sales on the basis of subcategory I have displayed. Now, supposingly, I want to display only the top 5 subcategories. So what can I do? I can take the subcategory, put it into the filters. Okay, I will see the top option over here. I will say by field, and I will say top 5, and I will say apply and okay. So you can see I'm getting only the top 5 subcategories over here. Okay, but now when I displayed the top 5, my audience required that I have to display top 7. I said, okay, no problem. I can go back and I can redesign. I can edit my filter. I can click on this drop down, edit filter, and I will say top 7 and press enter. And here it goes. Now I displayed the top 7. But when I displayed top 7, I was asked to display top 3 only. I said, okay, no problem. I will display top 3. So again, I went to the design mode. I changed the filter where I said top 3 and I said, okay. And I displayed the top 3. But when I displayed top 3, I have been asked to display top 5. Now I realize, oh, they are unnecessarily troubling me. So let me give them the control. Let me give the user the control to display the visual. To display whatever number of top 3, 5, 7, they can do it themselves. Don't you think that will be better? Yeah?
Yes.
All right. So let me do it from the scratch. I will remove it from here. I will put the subcategory into the filter. I will go to the top. I will say by field, which is the sum of sales. I will say top. Initially, I was giving a constant number 3, 5, 7, whatever. But here I will click on this drop down arrow and I will say create new parameter. I will create a parameter which says the current value is 3, minimum is 1, and maximum is I am taking it as 17. Now, why 17? Because I know there are total 17 subcategories. And I will say, okay, apply and okay. I am getting top 3 over here, but still you can see there is no mechanism to change this top 3 value during the presentation. So why? Notice over here that you have got a new thing that is known as parameter over here. You just click on this drop down arrow and say show parameter, which is known as a parameter control. Now see, you are getting top 3, 6, 9, 4, 1, 3, whatever you want. Okay, so now your visual is dynamic. During the presentation, you can change the top number. Is that clear?
Yes.
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 Okay, good. So this was a parameter. So dynamic visual you create using parameter first. Then we have something known as set. So let me create a set over here, where once again, I would like to take the sales on the basis of subcategory. Let me make it as a horizontal bar chart. Let's make it as an entire view. Let me do the sorting. And I will, okay, so we are creating a set. Now you can take a set of anything. Let me suppose I have selected the top 4 and I see the pop-up menu is appearing over here, and you will see there is an option of set over here. You can just click on this, say create set, say okay. The set has been created, but you will feel no difference in your visual. But if you notice, a new option will be appearing, a new field will be appearing over here with the name subcategory set. So you can just put the subcategory set into the color, and here it goes. So one which are the part of the set has been highlighted in blue and rest has been grayed out. Okay, so this is indicating that they are somehow related to each other. Let me throw it out, and I will give you, and I will also right click and delete the set. I will click on this drop down. I will say create set. So this is a second way of creating a set. Now let's take, I wanted to create a set of stationery related items. So I can say envelope, label, and paper for an example, and I will create a set. I will say okay. So a set has been created. If you want, you can rename it also over here. I will say I have created a stationery set over here, but no change in your visual. I can put the stationery set into the color, and you can see the items which we have put it in the set has been highlighted in blue, rest have been grayed out. Okay, so this is known as a set.
I have one doubt, sir. Can we change the color if we don't want gray
Why
and
not?
blue?
Change the color. You click
Okay,
on
thank you
this,
so
change
much.
whichever color you want.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we will talk in detail about this color. It has been covered in a separate topic. We'll talk about it.
Sure.
Right. So this is the set. Now let me take one more example for the set. I am taking the same example again, sales on the basis of subcategory, sorting, entire view, this. Now, supposingly, I want to take the top 5 over here. Using the set, I wanted to highlight the top 5. So I can go to the subcategory. I will say create set. And I will go to the top. I will say by field, and that is the sum of sales. I will say top 5, say okay. So the set has been created. You can put the set into the color and you will see that the top 5 has been highlighted. Here it is. So you have highlighted the top 5 subcategories. But once you highlighted the top 5 subcategories, you have been asked to highlight only top 3. So you said, okay, you went back and you edited the set over here. You clicked on the drop down arrow, say edit set. Instead of top 5, you said top 3. Say apply and okay. And here it goes. You highlighted the top 3. But when you highlighted top 3, you have been again asked to highlight the top 7. And you. Okay. So you highlighted the top 3, but when you highlighted the top 3, you have been asked to highlight top 7. Now you understand, oh, the same thing is happening again. Again and again, I have been asked to make the changes. So let's give the user the control. So what we will do, we will once again go to the drop down. I will say edit set. Now, instead of giving a constant value, I will click on the drop down and I will say create new parameter. And you are getting the same dialog box which you were getting initially. So here also you can create a parameter in the same manner, or as we already have an existing parameter, we can also use that. So I will say the parameter and say apply and okay, right? But still, when you have used the parameter, you do not have an option for a dynamic option. Why? Why we are not able to change dynamically? What is the one thing which we have to do?
Adding parameter.
Showing the parameter control. So click on this drop down and say show parameter. Now you have the parameter control, and now you have present table. During the runtime, you can change the value. Clear?
Yes.
Is that clear?
Yes, clear.
And also, if you have any cards which are not required, like this one, you can hide the card. It's a good practice from the day one. You should always highlight, always hide the unwanted cards. Why? You will come to know later. Okay, so now I have given you, so let me name it as Now I have given you two options to create a dynamic visual. One using the set, and another using the parameter. What is the difference between the two? Let's see. So here I am using a parameter, a dynamic visual using a parameter. You can see over here, and over here you are seeing a dynamic visual using a set. What is the difference between the two? What is your observation? Please tell. Hello. Hello.
Can you go back to the parameter one, like once again?
Right, let's go to the parameter. Let me change the parameter value. And here is the set. I can change the parameter value. What is your observation?
It's vertical and horizontal.
No, that is one thing, but this is not the main thing which we are looking forward to.
Maybe is it something like discrete and continuous?
Not at all, not at all. It is very much visible. Notice once again. So here it is using the set. See, I am changing the parameter value and the impact is there on the visual. I will go to the parameter here also. I will change the parameter value and you can see the impact on the visual.
Okay, okay.
For
So
sets,
in this
showing-
one, yeah, Shani, you can go ahead.
Yeah. So for sets, it is showing all the subcategories, but highlighting the selected ones. Means
Absolutely.
if the top 5, then it is highlighting 5.
Correct, correct. In set, all the values are displayed, all the bars are displayed, the bars for all the subcategories are being displayed, only the specified one are getting highlighted. However, in case of parameter, only the specified number of categories will be displayed. If I'm saying top 5 or if I'm saying top 3, only the top 3 is displayed over here. But in case in set, all are displayed, only the top 3 are being highlighted. Clear?
Yes, clear.
Yes.
Right. Now, in this, you have noticed that I have created a stationary set. And few minutes back, I have also created a stationary group. Can you tell me the difference between the group and the set? This is also an important interview question. Difference between a group and a set. Please respond.
Not sure.
Difference between a group and a set. I've just created a group few minutes back. So the difference is in group, the individual identity is lost. However, in set, the individual identity is maintained. So if you have remember when we created a stationary group, paper envelopes label, they were not getting highlighted individually. They were not displayed individually. Yes or no?
Yes.
And here you can see they are getting displayed individually. Only they have been highlighted. Do you remember? Please respond so that I can know that you are getting it or not. If you doesn't, if you're not getting, do let me know so I can create a group and tell you.
Got it.
Okay, fine, wonderful. Okay, so let's proceed further. And I will really appreciate if you can focus over here and give quick responses. If you really want to get the value out of this module. Okay, so this was the set, and here comes your assignment. Assignment which says interactive graph to highlight top 5 profit generating categories. Second, interactive category and subcategory wise sales using set and year wise segment wise sales. So these are the 3 questions. I have given you the output for the first one just for your reference. This is a chart which I am expecting, which should be a dynamic using a parameter. So please do that. The next thing which is coming up over here is using combines. So let's see what is a combine. Combine. So let me display regional sales. I'm displaying the regional sales. I also wanted to bifurcate it on the basis of the segment. And I also wanted to bifurcate it on the basis of further, let's take on the category. So you can see I am getting the region wise, segment wise, category wise sales. But here it is clearly seen that region, segment, and category are 3 separate fields. Region, segment, category. These are appearing as a 3 separate fields. But instead of displaying it as a 3 separate fields, I wanted to create it as 1. Okay. So let me remove this. Let me remove this. Let me remove this. And I will create it as 1. So you can select region, you can use control click to select the next, and you can use the control click to select the category. Now you can click on the drop down of any one of the selected, and you will see there is an option called create, and I will say combined field. Here it goes, right? If you wanted to rename it, you can click on this drop down arrow and you can say rename over here. Let me rename it as PD for an example. Here it goes. And I will take the PD over here. See what I am getting. Furniture, central, consumer, separated by a comma. So it is basically the combination of key fields, that is category, region, and the segment. Now, supposingly I want to change the sequence. I want the region, then the segment, then the category. So I can click on this drop down arrow of the PD. And there's an option called edit combined field. And I can move it anywhere I want. So region, then segment, then category. By default, it has been separated by a comma, but I wanted to use hyphen in place of comma, and I will say okay. Here it goes. Central, consumer, furniture, it is appearing over here. Right, so this is known as combine. Is this clear?
Yes, clear.
Yes.
Good. Next, we have title and caption. So for this, let me first of all create a visual. I would like to display the sales on the basis of the category and the subcategory. Putting the category into the color. Let's make it as an entire view, sorting, labeling. Here it goes. Now, okay. Now, if you see this is the title. This is the title of the visual, and by default, the name of the sheet will be appearing as the title. I will change the name of the sheet. Sales. Press enter. Here it is. So whatever the name of the sheet, it will be appearing as the title over here, and like this. So this is the title. But if you want to give a more appropriate title, so you can just go over here, you will see a drop down arrow, click on this drop down arrow and say edit title. And you can write whatever you want. So I should write over here, let's take. Right, I can make it bold, center aligned. Let's increase the size. I would like to go with 24. And I can also change the font over here. Let me take this. All right. And let's change the color also. I think blue color will look good. Here it is. And I will also like to get it filtered on the basis of this. Right. Here it goes. So you can see subcategory sales for all category. Now let me remove the technology. What is my visual displaying as of now? Can you tell me? What is this visual displaying? Come on, speak up.
Sales for furniture and office supplies subcategory.
Absolutely correct. It is displaying the sales for furniture and office supplies. But if you look at the title, it says for all category. Let me remove the office supplies also from here, and we will see we are getting the subcategory sales only. The visual is displaying for furniture only, but this title is saying for all category. So that means my title is not going as per my visual. So I have a requirement of creating a dynamic title. So again, I can click on this drop down arrow and say edit title. Also I can simply double click over here to edit the title. I will remove the all from here, and instead of this, I will go to the insert, and you will see there is an option called category. You can use category over here and say okay. So as of now, you are getting the same title which you were getting initially. Now you remove, let's take furniture. So subcategory sales for office supplies and technology. Let me remove technology. Furniture case sales for office supplies category. Let me take the furniture. So subcategory sales for furniture and office supplies category. So can you see the dynamic title over here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So which gives a better visualization. You have a dynamic title over here. I will say all. So it says subcategory sales for all category. Here it goes.
Just one doubt, sir. But
Yeah.
for this, did you have to make a category, or was it already taking it?
Which category? No, it will take it
Category
by
is an
default.
attribute.
Let me go it once again.
Uh-huh.
I will go to the insert, and you will see so many things, subcategory, sales. So these will be depending on the visual. So in the visual, we
Okay.
have used the category, subcategory, and sales. So
Okay.
these things are appearing over here.
Okay, so it's kind of auto-generated.
Automatically, it will be here. Now you will see other things like data source name, the name of your data source. Insert, data update time. Oh, sorry. See, I will say insert data update time. If you want to have the sheet name, you can take the sheet name, workbook name, page we have not talked about till yet. We will talk about later. Tab, caption, title, the username or the full name you can take. any parameter you want to display. So many things, whatever you want. Let's take the sales from here and say, okay,
Okay.
here it is. So you can see subcategory sales for all category. It is displaying the name of the data source, which is orders. It was last updated. What was the time when we get connected to this data source, right? The name of the user, and this is the sales range. And if you remove the technology from here, notice the sales range will change. Let me remove the furniture also from here, and you will see the sales range has been changed, correct?
Right, yes. Okay.
So, but I don't want all these things, so I'm removing it from here. I can double click over here and let me remove all this stuff from here. And I will say, okay. Once again, I will click on this drop down arrow. There is an option called reset title, which will give you the default title. That is the name of the worksheet. All right. I don't want that. Sorry. I have done a reset title, right? But I want to get the previous thing back, so I can do undo over here. Then hide title. If you wanted to completely remove the title, you can simply say hide title. So the title will be removed. If you want to get back the title, you can go to the worksheet and say show title. The title is back. You can also format the title. So let's do some formatting over here. I would like to make it as light blue color. Let's also take a border over here, and let's take this one light. Let me take that. Or let's take this one better. Right. So here it is. You can close it. Subcategory sales for all category, and which is dynamic title you have having. So looks good.
Yes.
Now,
Sir, could
just
you
like
please
title,
explain this, how to get this category filters? Once again.
although we will be talking about the filters in details, but you can just click on this drop down and say show filter. You will be getting the filter.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, and I can go to the worksheet. There is one more thing which is known as caption. Show caption. Now, what is a caption? Just try to read this caption. What does it say? It says sum of sales for each subcategory. So caption is basically a small description about your visual. Now it is describing your visual, which is saying sum of sales for each subcategory. Your visual is displaying the sales on the basis of subcategory. Broken down by category, which has been bifurcated on the basis of category. Color shows the detail about the category. The color is indicating the category. Like blue is for furniture, orange is for office supply, and red is for technology. The view is filtered on category. You have put in a filter on the category, which keeps furniture, office supplies, and technology. Let's remove technology, which keeps furniture and office supplies. Let's remove furniture, which keeps office supplies. So you can see I have not done anything into the caption, but caption is dynamic by default. Okay, let me go back. And if you want to edit the title, the caption, just like you edited the title, you can edit the caption also. You can say edit caption, and you can do the formatting. You can make it as bold. You can change the color. You can change the size over here. You can change the font over here, whatever you want further. Okay, let's do this much only. Apply and okay. And here it goes. All right, so you are getting the description, and now just focus on the caption and let me remove technology, which keeps furniture, office supplies, and technology. Which keeps furniture, office supplies, and technology. So if you have noticed, now your caption is not dynamic. So caption is dynamic by default, but if you will make any changes to the caption, its dynamic nature will not be there. So if you want to, now you have to make it dynamic. So instead of putting which keeps furniture, office supplies, and technology, so which keeps, you again have to insert the category and say okay. And all the options which you are getting in title, the same options are available over here as well. Say okay. Now see. remove furniture, which keeps office supplies and technology category. Let me take all. Okay, so this is how it is appearing. And if you wanted to format it, sorry, if you want to reset the title, it will give you the default title, sorry, default caption. You can hide the caption if you want. If you want to get it back, you can go to the view and say show caption. The caption is back. You can hide this card if you want. You can format the caption. You can format the caption. Let's take it also the blue color, and I would like to give it the same settings which we have given for the title. Here it goes. So now you have a visual with dynamic title and caption, which keeps furniture and technology category. Clear? Is this clear?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. Let's proceed. So this was the title and the caption. Then we have something known as exporting data. So you can go to the worksheet and you will see there's an option called export, but if you will notice, this option has been disabled over here. Why? Because, can anybody tell me why? Why the option has been disabled?
Because they're using Tableau Public.
Absolutely correct. Because we are using Tableau Public, and in public we cannot take the data outside the environment of Tableau. Okay. So basically this export and copy, both the option will give you the same, both menu will give you the same options. The only difference is same options means you can take it as an image. Sorry, what was that? So worksheet and export and copy will give you the same options. You can export it to as an image, you can take it to Excel, you can take the data from here. So both, it will give you the same option. The difference is export will create a new file and copy will copy the data to the clipboard. Okay, so I can give you a practical example of this when we will be working with the the Tableau desktop, later part of the module. Okay, there I can give you an example so you can remind me of this. The next topic which comes up over here is a granularity. What do you mean by the word granules? Can anybody tell me? Journal word, granule. Hello, I'm asking a meaning of journal word granule.
Level of detail?
No. I'm using a journal word in a day-to-day life. It's a common word, granule. What do you mean?
Small things in small quantity.
Small pieces, right?
Small pieces, exactly.
Small pieces, absolutely correct. Small pieces. Now see, I have a visual in front of you that is displays the sales and the profit. Can anybody tell me, just go through, just look at this visual. Can you tell me what does this bubble represents? There is one bubble. Any idea what does this bubble represents? No? This bubble is representing the overall sales and the overall profit. Here it goes. So out of those 10,000 records, the total sales generated is 2297201 and the total profit is 286,397. Clear? So this is a one value, the total sales and the total profit. Now let me put the region. I will take the region and put it into the colors and see what happens. So the region has been divided into so the one bubble has been divided into 4 parts, where each color bubble representing a separate region, where this is west, east, south, and the center. So one thing divided into 4 parts. Now let us take the category and put it into the shape and see what happens. So those 4 parts has been further divided into more parts, where circle representing furniture, square representing office supplies, and plus representing the technology. Let me take the segment into the details for an example, and you can see from those we are getting more pieces of it, right? So you can see this bubble, it is blue and circle, so that is furniture central, and in the consumer sector it is giving the sales and the profit. So you can see here we are getting a loss. The consumer sector from the furniture in the central region is giving us losses. If you want, you can also put the subcategory into the detail and see what happens. So many pieces over here, right? So many pieces over here. So what we have done, we have started up with one thing. We're starting on with the one value, and we are keep on dividing it further. So this process where we are dividing one thing into small pieces is known as granularity. I hope it's clear.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
So this is known as granularity. If you think that looks quite confusing, I can remove the subcategory from here. So you have less number of pieces. Right. So this was the granularity. Then you have something known as card and the shelf. So I told you the
So,
first, yes.
yeah, just wanted to ask, is granularity possible only by using the shape card or any other method as well?
Shape card.
As
Shape.
in the shape marks. So this is like when you started, we had only sum and profit and sales in the graph, right?
Right.
In the column and row. But when you added category in the shape, that's
Hmm.
when it started breaking down, right?
Hmm.
So is that shape mark is that the only
No, nothing like that. Let me remove it, remove this, remove this. I started from here. Let us take, what do you want me to put? Region, segment, category, subcategory, anything you'd say. I will take that. Tell me what do you want me to put?
region?
Region. Where should I put the region? Tell me wherever you want. Color, detail, size, anywhere.
Size.
It has been broken.
Okay.
Right? I have just put it into the color so that it can be more prominent over here. Now here you can say bigger circle, very small, medium, representing a different region, right? So I think it is not very much clear. But on the other hand, if I put the region into the color, it is very much clear that orange indicates east, red south, blue central, and this greenish is west, right? More clearer? Yes or no?
Yes.
You want, I can put the region into the shape. Very clear. Cross is west, square is east, plus is south, and circle is central. Okay. So just trying to highlight the concept. The entire concept says we are breaking one thing into multiple pieces. You can put the category into the color now. Here it goes. Clear? I hope it is now.
Yes, so it happens only when rows and columns both have numerical data.
No, not at all. It doesn't happen when row and column has, but I just wanted to show you getting the pieces. If I say, let me take the sales on the basis of region. I am displaying the regional sales,
Right.
right? Now, if I put the, suppose category also over here, right?
Okay.
So here, again, it has been divided into 3 more parts. But here, the division looks like a drill down, isn't it?
Yes.
But here you can see, when I am doing this over here, you can see, okay, this is one thing. When you put it over here, it divided into 3 things. Okay, that's why I have taken this graph, but conceptually, this is also granularity and this is also granularity. But
Okay.
here you can see the pieces happening. That's why I have chosen this chart. Is it clear now?
Yes, understood.
Wonderful. Okay, so now we were talking about the card and the shelf. So as I told you, these are the cards, marks, filter pages, column, rows, and these are the shelf. So managing card and the shelf is you can remove the unwanted cards if you want. Suppose you don't want the marks card, so you can go to the worksheet. There is an option called show cards. You can remove the marks. You can go to the worksheet. You can say show cards, and you also don't need the filters, so you remove filters. You can worksheet, show cards. You can also remove the pages. So you have removed the cards which you don't want. So you can do the same thing from this button also. You can click on this drop down. You don't want the rows and you don't want the columns as well. So you have removed all the cards which are not required. Now, if you want to go get the default cards back, so you can go to the worksheet, show card, and there is an option called reset cards. So all the cards which are there by default, we will be getting back. So that is the reset cards. Clear?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So that is managing the cards. Simple enough. Next comes is managing metadata. Now, what is metadata? Data about data is known as metadata. So if we call about category, city, country, customer ID, and discount, profit, sales, etc. So all these will be referred to as a metadata. Now, how can we manage this metadata? The first thing which comes up over here is hiding a particular field. If you want to hide it. So the concept says that if you do not want to use some field, let's take customer ID or let's take country. I don't want to do any visualization on the basis of the country. So I can click on this drop down and I can say hide. I don't want any visualization on the city. I can click on this drop down and say hide. So what is the benefit of hiding a field? So that the navigation becomes more easier, right? So you are just keeping those fields on which you will be using in your visualization and you are hiding. And remember, it is not for a particular sheet. If you have hidden it from here, you will see it has been hidden from the entire workbook. Okay? Not for a particular sheet, it is for the workbook. And if you wanted to see the hidden fields, you can click on this drop down arrow and you will see there's an option called show hidden field. Here it goes. So you are getting the hidden fields over here. But as of now, you can see it has been grayed out, so you will not be able to use them. You can click on this drop down, say unhide, city is usable. Click on the drop down, unhide, country is also usable now. Okay, so that is hiding or unhiding a field. Next is renaming a field. Now, if you wanted to rename a field, let's take order ID. I can click on this drop down. I can say rename, and let me say order number. Press enter. Right? So you can rename a field for your visualization purpose. If you want to give some more appropriate name, you can rename that particular field. Okay. And at any point of time, you can click on this drop down, say rename, and you can see a small reset button. You will click on this reset button and you will be getting the original name back. So this is how you can rename a field. Creating hierarchies and auto hierarchies. Okay, creating hierarchies and auto hierarchy. So you remember we have done the hierarchies. I think in the assignment also you have done the hierarchies. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Which data type gives you the default hierarchy? Which data type gives you the auto hierarchy or the default hierarchy?
Date.
Year? Yeah, date.
Date.
Yes.
Date data type gives you an auto hierarchy. So if we have to do the drill down facility, we can create a hierarchy. Then creating a folder, just like in Windows, you create a folder for better management of your files, right? You create separate folder to create the related files, to keep the related files together. So here also you can use that. So you can click on this drop down arrow and you will see there is an option called group by folder. You click on this and you will see here it is mentioned as folders. You can right click on the empty area at the bottom and you will see there is an option called create folder. And you can name the folder. Let me name it as customer. So I have a customer folder. Now I can keep all the fields related to the customer in the customer folder. It is simple drag and drop, like city, like country, the ID of the customer, the name of the customer, the postal code we can keep, anything else you want, you can keep it over here. Okay, so we can see we have put in the all the information related to the customer in the customer folder. So whenever I need any such information, I can click on this drop down and take the respective info. Okay, so this is how we can create folder. We can create as many folders as we want. At any point of time you wanted to remove the folder, you can right click over here. You can say remove folder. So the folder has been removed. Remember, it will have no impact on your fields. You can see city, country, customer ID, customer name, everything is there. Only the folder will be removed. Clear? Am I clear with this?
Yes.
Now, the fifth one, most important, creating calculated field. So let's take one visual over here. Let me display the sales, or I will like to display the subcategory sales, where it has gone. Let me take the subcategory and let me take the sales. And I have the sales. I have a profit also over here. I want to display cost. Can anybody help me in getting the cost? How can we get the cost? We have the sales, we have the profit. How to get the cost? Any idea?
Sales minus profit.
Absolutely correct. Sales minus profit will be the cost. So we have to create a calculated field. Remember, in Tableau, there are multiple ways to do the same task. So what can I do? I can click. You can see there is a small drop down arrow. We will click on this drop down arrow and you will see the first option, that is create calculated field. And the name of the field is cost. So I'm calculating cost. So what will be the cost? As you said, sales minus profit, right?
Yes.
Sales minus profit. But you see, when I have written this formula, it is saying the calculation contains error. Why? Because this is not the right way of writing a formula in Tableau. So we have to write it like sum of. So as soon as you punch in few options, you will be getting the pop-up options, and you can select the respective option from the list and press either the tab or the enter key. Sum of sales, sum of sales minus sum of profit, right? So the benefit of using the tab or enter is the syntactical requirement will automatically be taken care by Tableau, like the brackets, the parentheses, everything is coming automatically. And simply say OK. So you will see a new field over here, the cost. Also, can you notice there is a small equal to over here? Is it visible to you? Is small equal to?
Yeah, barely visible.
Right, slightly visible. So this small equal to is the indicates that this is a calculated field. Okay, so let me take the cost over here and we are able to display the cost. Okay, so we have created a calculated field. Now, supposingly, the total sales of accessories is how much? 167,000 is the total sales of accessories. I wanted to find out the number of transactions done in the accessories, total number of transactions done in each category. So another way of creating a calculated field, I can right click on the drop down. I can right click at the bottom in the empty space and I will say create calculated field. Okay, and I will say, or I will say transaction count. Oh, transaction count. Now, supposingly, I have no clue what formula should I write. So don't worry, you can simply click on this small triangle over here. Just click on this small triangle and you will be getting the list of all the formulas which can be used in Tableau. And no need to memorize this. Right? You will click on any of the formula and you will see a description of the formula along with the example will be displayed over here. So I will take a count over here, and you can click on this triangle again to close this box. Count of sales. Say okay. I'm getting the transaction count. Let's take it over here. Here it goes. The total number of transactions done in the accessories category is 775. Okay. Now, supposingly, I also wanted to calculate the average sales per transaction. So what can I do? Again, a calculated field. So I can go to the analysis. I can say create calculated field. I will say average sale. So it will be sum of sales divided by transaction count. Say okay. Here it is, the average sale. Let me take it. Here it goes. I'm getting the average sales. I want it at the bottom, so I will put it over here. I'm getting the average sales also over here. Is this clear? The average sales?
Yes.
In the equation that we are writing, why are we writing the sales column inside of the sum?
This, as I just told you, that is the way of writing a command. It's writing a formula in Tableau. And if I say, in other words, also you can see what I am using over here, arts. So you will be using it again. So I'm saying sum of sales of arts. Here, if I just go to the edit of the formula, edit, what I am written, sum of sales. Let's take an example of accessories. So the total sales of the accessories category divided by the transaction count of the accessories category. Okay, this is what is the meaning of this formula. Is it clear?
Okay, so if we write only sales, then it will refer to what?
Error.
Error.
This is what you wanted to know. Let me show you. Okay, got it?
Right.
Okay, now, so I have given you 3 ways of creating the calculated field. Let me give you one more way of creating the calculated field. I can go to the sales, click on the drop down arrow. I will say create, and you will see there is an option of calculated field. Right. Once again, I will calculate the average sales over here. And here we have a function called average. Average of sale. And say okay. Here it goes. I'm getting the average sales. Obviously, both the formulas will give you the same result because both are calculating the average sales. So why I have done this calculation? Because I wanted to highlight one point over here. In this formula, if you have noticed, there is an important point. Within a calculation, I am using a calculated field. Transaction count in itself is a calculated field. I am using one calculated field in another calculation. Okay?
Yes.
Right. Now, let me give you one more example. So I can click on this drop down arrow. I will say create calculated field. So total, you have 4 ways of creating a calculated field, which are, you can click on this drop down arrow and say create calculated field. You can go to the analysis and say create calculated field. You can right click at the bottom and say create calculated field, or you can go to the respective fill and say create calculated field. Whichever way you feel comfortable, you can use that. Right? Now, supposingly I wanted to find out under the accessories, the total number of transactions done is how much? Please tell quickly.
775.
Absolutely. Now, out of the 775 transactions, I wanted to find out the maximum transactional value. Okay, so I will say max sale. So here we have a function called max of sales and say okay. Here it goes. This is maximum sales. I'm getting the maximum sales value. So maximum transactional value in the accessories category is 3347. Clear?
Yes.
Want to have one more? Let's click on this drop down, create new field. Similarly, I also have in cell where I can say minimum of I also wanted to find out the minimum transactional value, and here it is. I'm getting the minimum sales. So minimum transactional value is 1. Okay. So this is how we have used few of the calculations over here, right? So as of now, I have just tried to focus on the different ways of doing the calculation. Okay. Right. I have just focused on the various different ways of doing the calculation. We have a lot of more, many other calculations which we will be doing in this module. And I have divided these calculations into 3 parts. The calculation has been divided into the 3 parts. The first one, which we have just covered, is the basic calculation. Number 2, it will be the table level calculations. Okay. Then we will have a third level that is known as a detailed level calculation. In short, we call it as LOD calculation, which will be coming further in the module. Okay. So with this, let's proceed. Any questions over here? Or is it all going good?
Clear.
Great. Right. So here comes a small assignment, which says display sales on the basis of region, category, subcategory should be interactive on region with dynamic title and caption. So the focus is on dynamic title and caption. All the fields related to the customer in customer folder and product related in the product folder. So you have to create 2 folders, customer and product, and put the fields into the respective folders. Segment wise monthly cost on the basis of shipping date. So here you have to calculate the cost and display it on the basis of shipping date, which should be bifurcated on the basis of segment. Display sales value using a combined field for region, segment, and category. Display sales value using a combined field for region, segment, and category. So here you have to create a combined field. Okay. So with this, we move to the next topic, which is joins. Now, do you have any idea about SQL? Has anybody done SQL? Yes, no, maybe?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, yes. 2 people. Anyone else?
No.
No. Okay. So first of all, don't worry if you have not done the SQL. I have just asked because for the people who have done SQL, I hope you are familiar with joins. Yes or no? For the one who has done the SQL.
Yeah. Yes.
What do you mean by joins? Could you please tell?
Combining 2 tables.
Correct. Combining 2 tables. So joins are required when we need to retrieve the data from more than 1 table. So the same concept, exactly same concept which we have in SQL for the joins is available over here in Tableau, but in a very simple manner. So for this, first of all, I will open another instance of Tableau. And let me show you some data over here. I have a file with the name data sales in which I have 2 sheets, that is electric and the book. Okay. So electric contains the area which is north, south, east, west, the name of the state, the sales values for the electronics, and the profit. In the book, we have the region which contain north, south, east, west. We have the state and we have the sales figures for the books. Okay. Now, few points to be highlighted over here. In the books, we have in the state, we have Jammu, Kashmir and Bihar, but these Jammu, Kashmir and Bihar is not able in electronic, and electronic we have Odisha, which is not there in book. Second point to be noted, in the books, the heading for the data north, south, east, west is region, and in electronic, the heading for the same data is area. So that means the data is same, but the heading is different. Okay. So let us try to get connected to this data. So let me go to the Excel. I will say data sales. Let me double click on the book. Here it is. Now what we wanted to do, we wanted to create a join. So to create a join, the first thing is double click. Double click over here and now take the second field, that is electric. Which type of join is this?
Inner join.
Very good, inner join, right? So here you do not have to write any query, nothing like that. It is simple drag and drop. Automatically you are getting an inner join. And inner join means common records between both the tables. Okay. And if you wanted to switch between the join line, left join, right join, so all the joins are available over here as well. So I can click on this drop down and you will say inner, left. Left join means all the records from the left table and matching records from the right table. And how you will come to know the left and right? The one before the symbol is left and one after the symbol is right. So all from left, even if you look at this symbol, you can clearly identify that is all from books matching from electric. So you are getting Jammu, Kashmir and Bihar over here, and for which the null value is appearing in electric. You will say right. So if you will scroll down, you will see you are getting Odisha from electric, which is not available in books. If you will say full, you can see you will be getting both Jammu, Kashmir and Bihar, which is there in book and not in electric. And you will also be getting Odisha, which is there in electric, but not in book. Okay, so you can select the join on the basis as per your requirement. For an example, I will be using the inner join over here. Now, there is one basic condition for the join is that the two tables which you wanted to join should have one comparable field. Now, Tableau is smart enough. It has seen that the state is a common field between the two. Between the two tables, the common field is state. So it has automatically created the join on the basis of state. Okay. So the join has been created automatically over here. It is simple drag and drop. I can go to the sheet 1 and here it is. Let me create the state, take me a state from the book. I will like to take the book sales. I will go to the electronic and I will take the electronic sales and see I have a visual which is having the data from two separate data sources. This visual contains the data from two separate data sources. Clear? Is it clear,
Yes.
the point?
Yes.
Right. And not only getting the data from two different data sources, you can also create a calculated field which is based on the data from two different data sources. For an example, let me right click over here, create calculated field. Let us say total sales, where I will say sum of sales plus sum of electronic sales and say okay. So I'm getting the total sales and here it goes. Clear? Moreover,
Yes.
if you want, see the beauty of Tableau over here. Let me take the region from the book and I will take the book sales, right? I'm getting a regional sales for the book and I will also take the electronic sales and I am getting the data for that as well. But if you remember, the heading was different. In books, it is region, but in electric, it is area. But Tableau is smart enough to see that when the data was same, it was able to get the data from two different data sources, although the name was different. Nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
And here also you can display the total sales, which is appearing. Right? I don't want this. Let me remove it. Here it goes. So this was the join in Tableau. Now, there is one more type of joins in Tableau, which is known as cross database join. It is known as cross database join. Now let us see what is this cross database join. So I will like to show you some more data over here. So we have, I have a sheet over here with the name electronic sales. So this data is same, but initially the book and the electronic, the two workbooks, sorry, the two sheets were available in the same data source in the same Excel. But now we have an Excel which contains the electronic sales and I have another Excel for the book sales with the name of book sales. Here I have the book. So two different. Are you able to understand the difference? What is the difference is happening over here? What is the difference? Can you please tell?
So previously we had two different sheets inside one Excel workbook. Now we are having both the sheets separately in separate Excel workbooks.
Absolutely. So if I talk in terms of the database, I can say two tables, one database, and two tables in two databases, correct?
Yes.
Right. So here I am trying to highlight a concept of cross database join. So let me go to the data source. I will say Excel. Let me say book sales, say open. So I'm having the book over here. Now you will see there is an option called add. I will say add Excel, and I will say electronic sale. Say open. So I'm getting, you will go to the books, you will get a book. You go to the electronic, you are getting electronic. Now, one main thing before we do the join is double click. Double click over here and take the electric. Automatically, you are getting a join. Now 100% same as the previous example. You can click on this. You can select the join you want, whatever. You can go to the sheet one. You can create the visual. You can display the, let's take the state. Let us take the book sales. Let's take the electronic sales. You want to create a calculated field. You create a calculated field. You also want to display the region. You can take the region over here, whatever. So working wise, there is no difference. Only there is a conceptual difference that here I have added a data source by clicking on add data source. Are you with me on this?
Yes.
Yes.
So to add electronic sales in the to do the join, you just double clicked on the electronic sales later on, right?
No, I didn't double click on here. I just went to the electronic and I dragged and drop. Either double click on this or drag and drop.
Okay.
Okay. So till now, we know that if we wanted to work with the multiple data sources, multiple tables, what we need to work with multiple tables, what do we need?
Join.
We need join, right?
Yes.
If I need to get the data from two tables, I need to create a join, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
In Tableau, we have one more concept in which without creating any type of join, we will be able to get the data from two different data sources. So let us see how. So I can see a new, I am taking another instance of Tableau, and I will be working with the same data sources which I have used over here. So let me go to the data source. Let's get the data. I will connect to the book sales. Here it is. Now, initially, I have clicked on the add to get another data source, but this time I will not click on add. I will simply go to the data and I will say new data source. I am opening another data source. I will say Excel and I will say electronic sales, say open. No joins, nothing. I have opened electronic and the book source. I can go to the sheet one. I have not created any join. Let's go to the sheet one and you will see books and electronic, two separate data source has been opened over here. Let me go to the books. You will get the dimension and measure of books. You go to electronic, you will get the dimension and measure of electronics. So let me go to the books. I will take the state over here. Let me display the book sales. Now I will go to the electronic and I will like to take the electronic sales, and here it goes. I am getting the data from two different data sources, no joins, nothing. Nice.
Yes.
But how it is appearing?
It
How
is
it is
appearing one by one
Sorry?
for each. The attributes are appearing different for book and electronics. So we are not seeing. I don't think we are seeing attributes of both sheets together.
Obviously, we are getting the data in this visual. This is a visual which is
No,
displaying the sales of the books and the electronic, and these two values are coming from two different data sources.
I mean on the left side
Here you want,
in the
if you
data.
want, you can display that as well. You go to the electronics, you want to display the state. Let's display the state from here also. You are getting it, right? So it's not matter of the state over here. In the visual, you are getting the data from two different data sources, which is clearly visible over here. How? Because of this. Can you notice a small red color icon over here in front of a state?
Yes.
This is a relationship icon. So Tableau is smart enough. Whenever you open multiple data sources, Tableau see the common fields. Whenever it will find the same name field, it will automatically create a relationship between the two. Okay, it will automatically create a relationship between the two. And now let me show you one more thing. I will go to the books. I will take the region. I will take the book sales. I will go to the electronic and I will take the electronic sales and see what happens. This time I am not getting the correct value. I am getting that sum of total sales value of electronics. It is not getting bifurcated on the basis of the region. Any idea why is it happening? Any idea why? Because the heading is different. In books, it is region, and in it is electronic, it is area. But if I want to display it, what I have to do, I will go to the data. I will say edit blend relationship. So you can say by default, it is automatic. So automatically it has related the state with the state. So I will go to the custom. I will say add. I will relate the region and the area and say okay, and say okay over here. And we are getting the value. And now you can notice that you have a red color icon in front of the area as well. So which indicates that for this particular visual, this relationship has been utilized. Also notice that in front of the state, the icon which was highlighted initially, now it has been grayed out. Why? Because this visualization is not utilizing this relationship. Let me take the state also over here, and here it goes. You are getting the state over here. So in this visual, both the relationship has been used. Okay, let me show you one more thing, and let me go to the books. I will take the book sales on the basis of the state. Let me make it as a horizontal bar chart, and let's make it as an entire view. I will go to the electronic and I will take the electronic sales over here. And we can here also, we can create a calculated field. I can right click and say create calculated field. Let me say total sales, where I will say sum of electronic sales plus sum of book sales say okay. I'm getting the total sales. Let me take it also over here. Let's display the label also. Here it is. So you can see here I'm getting the data from the books. So in Punjab, the book sales is 50, electronic sales is 115, the total sales is 165. Let's take Maharashtra, which is 10 in books, 80 in electronics, total is 90. If I talk about Bengal, which is 2 in books, 5 in electronics, total is 7. Jammu Kashmir, 5 in books, nothing in electronics, total should be How much should be the total for Jammu Kashmir?
5.
5.
It is appearing as nothing, blank, null. It is appearing as null. It should be 5. Now, why it is appearing as null? Because what is the electronic sales of Jammu Kashmir?
0.
0.
It is not 0. It is null. And in Tableau, in any calculation, whenever you will manipulate with null, the result will always be null. So 5 plus null is equal to null. 4 plus null is equal to null. But now if you want to see the total value, you have to edit your calculation. So I can go to this calculated field, click on this drop down arrow. I will say edit. Let me go home and say ZN. Let me close the parenthesis over here and I will say ZN. And let me close the parenthesis over here and say OK. And here you can see you are getting the total value, that is 5 and 4. Why? Because we have used the function ZN. ZN means null to 0. Null to 0. So wherever in the calculation it will encounter null, the null will be considered as 0. Am I clear with this?
Yes.
Yes.
So this is known as data blending calculations. So
Sir,
sorry.
can you show once more how you created the linking of area as well?
Okay, so I just gone to the data, edit blend relationship. By default, it is automatic. I will go to the custom. I will say add, and I will create this, and I will say okay. Okay, and you will see that it has been created. Simply say okay, and the relationship will be created.
So the region and area, I mean, they were already there for making the connection, or we added those?
It will be appearing over here. You just have to click on the add, and you will see all the fields from both the over here. All the dimensions will be appearing over here.
Okay. So right now only 2 are appearing. That's why I asked.
Sorry?
Right now we are seeing only 2. That's why I asked.
Because in the data we have only 2. Area and state. These are only 2 dimensions which we have. We create the relationship on the basis of the dimension, not on the basis of the measures.
Oh, right. Okay.
Okay. Now, I have shown you 3 ways of working with the multiple data sources. One is the normal join, second is the cross database join, and third is the data blending. Now, let us see something over here. So, one is this, another one is this, and one is this. So, one is, let's take this, one is this, and one is this. So 3 different ways of working with the multiple data sources: normal join, cross database join, and data blending. Now, looking at your worksheet, this worksheet, how will you come to know that which way of working with the multiple table has been used? How will you come to know?
So it's mentioned up there below data, book plus data sales, book plus
Very
multiple
good, very
connection.
smart, absolutely correct. So you just have to see the name of the data source. Just by looking at the name of the data source, where in the data source you will see the name of the table along with the name of the data source, which says book plus data sales. It means a normal join. But when you will say book plus multiple connection, whenever you say multiple connection, it means cross database join. And blending is simple, where you will be getting 2 separate data sources, means data blend. Okay, right. Now, coming back to the first one, where I have told you the simple join. Let me show you one more thing. I have cleared out everything. I have deleted the calculated field. Let me go to the data source. I will throw the electricity out. Electricity, right? And here it goes. So I have just cleared everything. And I want to work with both electronic and book. So I will take the book over here. I have to create a join. What is the first thing I will do?
Double click.
Absolutely correct. I have to double click. But what if I don't double click? I will not double click. I will take directly electric over here. I have not done the double click and see what happens. Without double click, I have taken the electric over here. Let me go to the sheet 1. I will take from the books, I will take the state. I will take book sales. I will go to the electronic sales and I'm getting the data. I have not created any join over here. I have not created any join, but I am getting the data. Why and how? Because Tableau by default works on the concept of relationship. It has related the two table. If you will click on over here, you will see the relationship. State and state. It has automatically created a relationship. Right? So remember, by default, Tableau works on the concept of relationship. Am I clear with this?
So how is this different from the join?
It is very different from the join. I think if you have noticed over here, when let me put it like this. Can you see? Just see the over here. 3 fields are being displayed, correct? 3 fields.
Right.
But let me take another one. How many fields? 7 fields. So when we join the two tables, if you have done SQL, you have seen in that also, when we join the tables, we take the data, we take the column from 2 tables and join them, right? The columns from the 2 tables will be merged. But in case of this relationship, the tables will not be merged. It is just a relationship. Is that clear?
Right.
No. Okay, so this is how we can see how to work with the multiple tables. Going back to our, where is the PPT gone? Here it is. Join. So we have talked about the inner, left, right, and full join, and we have talked about the cross database join, and we have talked about the data blending. Now this topic is also important from the interview point of view. So the difference between the joins and the blending. Okay, so join works on the concept of the joins where we create inner, left, right, or any different of join. And this is okay, here it is. Now, here is the assignment which says use inner join to join electronic and book data source, and in a tabular format display electric book and total sales on the basis of region and state. Right, so you have to create an inner join over here. Use full join to join electronic and book sheets and create a line graph to display area wise electronic book and total sales in a same plot area. 3 things has to be displayed in a same plot area. What concept you will be using over here?
Full join.
You are not, that is written in the assignment that you will be using a full join, but I am highlighting another point.
Multiple connection.
No, just read the question. It says electronic book and total sales in a same plot area. 3 measures has to be displayed in a same plot area. You have to use auto-generated fields. Measure name and measure value has to be used. In the starting of the session, I told you that, right?
Okay.
Using auto-generated fields. Right, blend the data from electronic and books data source and display electronic books and total sales on the basis of state. Okay, and here it is. 1, 2, 3. I have given you the visual output, what I am looking forward. So this is the answer for 1, this is the answer for 2, and this is the answer for 3. Clear?
Yes.
So if you will try it, you will definitely be able to do it. Simple enough. So this is what I was saying, that you have to display 3 things in the same plot area. utilizing measure names. Okay, so proceeding on with the next topic, and the next topic which comes up over here is filtering charts. Okay, is it going all fine? Are you getting? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so filtering chart, what do you mean by filtering? Filtering means, let me go to here it is. Okay. Filtering means using, just displaying the data which we want and just filtering out the one which are not required. So let me take the sales on the basis of, let's take subcategory, and I will like to put the category into the color. Okay, and if I wanted to filter on any field, I can put that particular field into the filter card. So let me put it over here, and here you will be getting 4 tabs: journal, wildcard, condition, top, and you have 3 options in the journal tab, that is select from list, custom value list, and use all. So you can just see the options which are available. Suppose I don't want office supplies, I click on this, say apply, and okay, office supplies has been moved. Okay, I have filtered out the office supplies. If I want to do any changes, I can click on this drop down and say edit filter, and I can do any changes. I will say all, apply, and okay. I am getting all the things over here. To give you more better example, let me take the subcategory into the filter. I will put subcategory into the filter, and here it is. Select from the list. Now you can select whatever you want, and whatever you don't want, you can just remove it from here, and I will say apply. So only the one which you have highlighted, which you have selected over here, are being displayed. The rest of them has been removed. Right? You wanted to say all, you will say all, apply, everything is visible. If you will say none and apply, everything will be removed. So I want all and apply so that everything is visible. You can also reverse your filter by clicking on exclude. Now, only the one which has been unchecked will be displayed, and rest of them has been moved out. Okay, so the checked one has been moved out. So you have reversed the filter. I will say all and apply. Everything has been removed. So I don't want to like exclude, reverse the filter. So everything is visible. Then the second option is custom value list, where you can create your own list. You can create your own list. So you can type in over here, like say, I want chairs. You just type in few characters and you will be getting chair, phone, tables. Say apply and okay. I'm getting chair, phones, and tables over here. Okay. So here it is. You can create a list. If you will say use all and apply, everything will be visible. I will go to the select from the list. I will say all, apply. Everything has been displayed. So this was the first tab, that is the general tab. The next tab you have is a wildcard. So where you can wildcard means creating of the pattern, creation of the patterns. So you can say it starts with, let's take P and say apply. So only the one which starts with P is being displayed, that is paper and the phones. Right? Let's take contains P, apply. All the subcategories which contains the character P is being displayed, like appliances, copiers, envelopes, paper, phones, and the supplies. That is. Now ends with, let's take S and apply. So all the subcategories which are ending with the character S has been displayed over here. Accessories, appliances, binder, bookcase, etc. are being displayed. I will say exactly matches. Let me say phone. and I will say apply, but I'm not getting anything over here. Why? Because it is not phone, it is phones. So it needs to be exact match. Now I am getting it. I will say clear, apply, everything is visible. Then you can also go to the condition, and for which let me say cancel, and I will display the labels. I can click on this. I will say edit filter, and we were talking about the condition. Now I want to display the ones which has the sales value more than 200,000. So I can say by field. So sum of sales. I want to show the one where the sum of sales is, now suppose you don't have any idea about the sales range. So you can click on the load, and sum of sales is greater than equal to, I will say 200,000. Say apply. Right. So I'm getting the one where the sum of sales is more than 200,000. Clear? Am I clear? So you can click on this drop down and you will say less than, greater than, equal to, not equal to, whatever. If I will say less than 200,000 and say apply, so all the one where the sales is less than 200,000 is being displayed over here. Okay. But if you will notice, suppose I want to get those where the sales is between 100,000 to 200,000. And here you will have no option of giving a range. You don't have any option of giving a range. So in that case, we have to write a formula. So I can say sum of sales is greater than equal to 100,000 and sum of sales less than equal to 200,000. Say apply. You can notice I'm getting only those where the sales is between 100 to 200,000. Am I clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Let's take none and apply so that everything is visible. The third one which we have, the fourth one which we have is the top, which we have just seen few minutes back, where you can say by field and I want top 5, apply. So I'm getting the top 5 over here. So we have just seen this when we were doing the parameters, and you can also, instead of top, you can also go with the bottom. So I will say the bottom 5 and I'm getting the bottom 5 ones. Okay, I will say none and apply. Here it goes. Okay. So these I have shown you the 4 tabs: general, wildcard, condition, and top.
So one question.
Yes, please.
For wildcard, can we make use of regular expression characters?
Like?
For example,
Example.
let like P star S, like which starts with P, ends with S.
Here it goes, nothing.
So what if you want
This
to...
wildcard doesn't work over here. The star and all, it is not applicable over here. Right?
Okay.
So you have to say which starts and also this you can, which contains the character S and so on. So this is the condition. Here you will not be able to create that sort of a pattern.
Okay.
Okay. Right. The next thing which comes up over here is filtering of dates. So let's see how can we use filter on the dates. So let me take the sales on the basis of order date. I will also take the category over here. Let me make it as an entire view. Now I can take the order date and I will put the order date into the filter and click on next. Now see, you are getting the filters, date filter over here. The first is the range of the date. Here you can specify the range. You can use the slicer over here. Say apply. So you are getting the within the specified range. Okay. Either you can punch in over here or you can use the slider, as per your requirement. Okay. Now the next option is the starting date, where the ending date is fixed. You can only change the starting date. Then you have ending date, where the starting is the fixed and you can only change the ending date. Then you have spatial. Now, if in your data, although in our data we do not have any null values, but if in your data you have null values, so how to deal with the null values? So I say I want only the visualization for the null dates and apply. I'm getting nothing because I do not have any null values in the data. Then you have null dates, which means only consider non-null dates, exclude the null dates, and say apply. I'm getting everything because I do not have null dates. All date means take all the things null as well as non-null dates and apply, and I'm getting this over here. Okay. Then you have also one very important thing which is known as relative date. Now, what do you mean by relative date? Relative date means, as the name says, relative, with relation to the current date, right? So where many a times in the reporting we say that we want to see the details for the last say 7 years, or last 9 months, last 4 quarters, last 15 days. So in this case, when we say last 15 days or last 7 years, the last 7 years will be considered from the current date, current year. Okay. So now remember, we have the data from 2014 to 2017. And if I will say over here last 3 years, I will say apply. I will not be getting anything because 3 years will be 20, 21, 22. Okay, so let me make it as last 8 years and see what are we getting. Apply. So we are getting 15, 16, 17. So 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22. So last 8 year will be till 2015. We are getting. Sorry, relative dates we are talking about. So you say last 7 years apply. So you are getting the details of 16 and 17 only. Am I clear?
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is known as date filters. Then we have interactive filters. Interactive filters are the filters which can be updated during runtime. So these filters which I have told you, this can be done only the design time. If you will go to the runtime, here you will not be having any option to change the filter. So the filter which can be changed during the runtime is known as interactive filter. So let me take the sales on the basis of subcategory, and let me put the category into the color. I can click on this drop down and I will say show filter. Let's make it as an entire view. Now, this being an interactive filter, that means it can be updated during the presentation. Right, during the presentation, I'm able to change my visual. So this is known as interactive filters. Okay, to get an interactive filter, you just click on the drop down and say show filter. You will be getting the interactive filter. Then we have advanced interactive filter. So in the interactive filter, you will click on this drop down arrow and you will get different type of filters over here. And this is known as advanced filter, advanced interactive filter. Okay, so let's see. The first one we have is a single value list. Now, either you can display all or you can have only one. You cannot select two over here. So this is known as single value list. Then let me click on this drop down. Then we have single value drop down. You click on this, click on the drop down. Now you will be able to select only one. You cannot select multiple, either all or any one. Let me say all. Now you click on this drop down, we have a single value slider. So now you are getting the slider over here. Click on the drop down, we have multiple value list, which is there by default. This is the default one. Okay. Then click on the drop down. You have multiple values drop down. So now you will be getting a drop down where you can select the multiple values. Click on the drop down. You have multiple values custom list. You have multiple values custom list. Now you can create your own list. Let's say furniture. I'm getting the furniture. Let me take technology. So just type in few words and you will be getting that. So you can create your own list here. Right. Then we have a wildcard match. Let's take F. So all the categories which contains the character F, like furniture and office supplies, has been displayed over here. Let me clear it out. Right. And I will go with the default one, multiple value list. Okay. Then, so this was the advanced interactive filters. And more thing where it has gone. Oops. Here it is. You can also customize your filter. Suppose you don't want the title which is appearing over here, you can remove the title, or I can get it back. You can go to the customize and you will say show apply button. Now you keep on changing the filter, nothing will happen until and unless you click on the apply button. So that is the additional steps you have taken. So if you don't want this, you can remove it over here and you can go to the customize and I don't want the apply button. So this is how it is happening. Then we also have interactive date filters. So let me take the sales on the basis of order date. Let me bifurcate it on the basis of the category. Let me make it as an entire view. And I will like to go to order date, click on the drop down arrow and say show filter. Here it goes. I am getting the interactive. I want to compare 14 and 17. Let's compare 14 and 15. 16. Clear? So this becomes an interactive date filter. Am I clear with this?
Yes.
Okay. The next which is coming up over here is a where filter. Where context data.